Hello, YouTube, and welcome to The Real Siberius. On this episode, I wanted to talk about where's the fight in the NBA. And when I say fight, I'm not talking about Malice in the Palace type fighting. I'm talking about where are the rivalries? Where is the tenacity to compete until you can't compete anymore? It just seems to be gone. Everybody seems to be friends and wants to be friends on the court now, before the game, after the game. When I played sports, and again, it was only Little League Baseball, I hated the other teams. I didn't want anything to do with them. However, despite the fact that I hated them, whether I won or lost, when we would all get in a line and shake each other's hands, I'd look them in the eye and tell them good game. Whether I won or whether I lost. Because regardless of whether I hate you or not, I still respect you as a competitor. And sportsmanship dictates that I show you that respect by looking you in the eye and shaking your hand, whether I won or lost. But until that moment, as soon as that game started, until that game ended, I hated you. All I wanted to do was beat you and embarrass you. I just feel like that's gone. And why? Where has that fire gone? Has it been extinguished because masculinity is now viewed as toxic? I mean, it really is viewed as toxic. There's so many things that I see and read about that to me is just masculine behavior, good or bad, but it's all viewed as negative or confrontational or aggressive, and I don't like that. I think as human beings, as animals, as masculine males, sometimes we have to fight. That's a natural instinct. You can put two 2-year-olds in a room together, they're going to fight. You can put two dogs together in a room, they're going to fight. That's just the reality of it. And so when you try to ignore that, or when you try to suppress that, that's not healthy. It'll end up coming out in other ways. I think a lot of anxiety could be traced back to that. I think a lot of depression can be traced back to that. I know myself from my own personal experience, when I exercise, which I exercise 6 days a week, when I exercise, and especially the harder I exercise, the more calm my mind is, the better my body feels. When I compete, especially at a high level, my mind is calmer. And I just don't feel that people really compete anymore. I can't tell you how many times I play video games with people because I physically can't really play sports anymore. I've heard so many times people say, I just want to play to have fun. I don't. I want to play to win. That's how I have fun. Now, I think the way that you play the game is important. I still think you need to handle yourself with respect, with integrity, and with class. But I want to win. When I was young, and playing Super Mario Brothers, I wanted to win. When I very first started playing fighting games in arcades, I want to win. And I will be aggressive about it. To this day, I play a lot of Overwatch 2 with my brother and with my nephew. I want to win. Sometimes I'm going to get a little bit too aggressive about it. Sometimes I may even say inappropriate things because I want to win. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And I just feel like that's been lost. And I'm curious where it's gone and why it left. And can we bring it back? Do people even want to bring it back? I love rivalries. As primarily a Chicago Bulls fan, I loved hating the Pistons. Absolutely loved it. It's funny because Dennis Rodman is my favorite player of all time, but when he was on the Pistons, I hated his guts. I couldn't stand him at all. I respected his game, but I wanted terrible things to happen to him because he was shutting us down. And then as a football fan, I was a Vikings fan. I hated the Packers. Still do. Still don't like the Pistons. Still don't like the Packers. It's never going to change. I'll never like them. Even though I don't watch sports nearly as much as I used to, I still can't stand them. If I see somebody with a Packers jersey on, I immediately don't like them. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be your friend. Same thing with the Pistons. We're immediately adversaries. And I don't think it will ever go away. And I feel that that has disappeared. And it makes me sad. I think rivalries are important in sports. They always say that sports are a reflection on our society. And I agree with that. I think sports help people focus their attention elsewhere. I think sports let us have hope when things feel hopeless. I think when your team triumphs, you triumph. When your team fails, you fail. They're absolutely a reflection of our society as a whole. And I think right now that's even more true than ever because I feel like sports are weak and they're soft and our society is weak and soft. But I also think life is a pendulum. And it swings one way and it swings the other. And sometimes it swings too far to the right. Sometimes it swings too far to the left. And I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about in general. But it always seems to balance itself. So we've been in this soft, weak sports era for quite some time. It's about time for it to start swinging the other way. And I think it will. But again, that's just me having hope and sports giving me that hope because everything it's given to me in the past. Anyway, I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. Do you miss rivalries in sports? Is that something that fueled your fandom? Do you miss it? Do you want it to come back? Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. If you made it to the end of the video, I certainly appreciate it. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. As always, I want to give a shout out to the content creators that have inspired me to create this channel. Uncommon Sense, Angry Old Hoops, Self-Researched NBA Facts, 93Z, Sports and Fitness Rants, Uncut Hoops, Scap Attack, The Basketball Show, Speam Engine, In Your Face Hoops, Eddie TV. And I want to give a special shout out to King Speech Row and Goatcast Hoops. I really appreciate your guys' support and your shout outs to my content. I have always respected what you guys do, and I hope that we can do some form of collaboration soon. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one.